What is going on? Welcome back to another live stream here at Frenchy's Forge in the lawnmower shed, where I get a bunch of knives cranked out. That is correct. We're back in here working on some more blades, and in particular, I am back at working on this. And even though it doesn't look like much of a blade just yet, that's what we're going to be doing today, is continuing to work on this thing. I did a little bit of a live on this a couple times in a row. I pretty much got this thing forged out. And in the last live that I did on this one, I was working on trying to profile it some, and I noticed that it had a bit of a little whoopsie on the top of the spine. There was a little section here that was just kind of not in line. So we profiled it out a little bit more, took it into the forge, and flattened and planished it some along the spine here, and got it pretty well good and straight. You can see for the most part it's now nice and even, and when we're looking at it this direction, we get the three areas to line up, at least when we're looking this way. So that is good, because the blade portion was kicked out to one side pretty bad. So now that we have the forging part corrected, we're back at the grinder, doing some grinding on it. And this is a billet of Damascus. It is probably only 15 to 20 layers. It's one that I drew out by hand. I did not use the forge press for this, so this is by hand. But we're going to be pretty much just taking it to the grinder, profiling some, trying to refine this shape of a knife. So that is what we're doing. And I've got the profile or the design here in paper. And for those that are in here that weren't in the last live stream that I did for this, this is a knife shape that a guy from work gave me and said, "Hey, brother, I know you make knives. Can you make me this funky knife that I want?" And I said, "Heck yeah, dude, I will give it a shot." And so that is the profile. Here's our piece of Damascus. And you can see, for the most part, we got enough steel. We got it moved in the right direction to be able to try to make this knife for him. I'm probably going to be moving this handle around some. The actual piece of paper that he gave me was a little bit shy in the back area. So once you have a knife drawn out on paper, it might look cool. And you might say to yourself, heck yeah, I just drew an awesome knife. But until you cut it out and actually at least attempt to put it in your hand just to make sure that everything fits good, you don't really know. And so after I got this one cut out, you can see it's a little tight back here, maybe in the pinky. So we'll play with that a little bit and see how it feels as we continue on. So, anywho, what's up, Joe Turner? My man, how are you? Thanks for saying hey, appreciate that. I like your icon. Is that, it's hard to see on my screen. Is that Hill Climb Racing? Kind of looks like it. That's a game I play on my phone. It's a lot of fun, Hill Climb Racing. You get to like level up your cars and you race people. Heck yeah, let's go. Joe says I am a hill climb dude. I like it. I was actually just playing not too long ago. I am on the team Sticky Biscuits, and we are right in the middle of a battle. And yeah, it's good stuff. I'm trying to level up my rides. But anyway, yeah, doing some knife stuff in the shop. Thanks for saying hey, Joe. Appreciate that, and good luck to you in the hill climbing. Hopefully a few more people will hop in here as we get going. If you do, hop in here, say hey, tell me what your name is. Let me know what you like as far as watching stuff. I was asking that question the other day to the people in my live stream, just wondering what they like to watch. You know, like people make stuff. Some people just get on a live stream and they talk, and so other people will stop and listen to whatever somebody's saying, which is cool too. But yeah, I always wonder why people watch lives. What are they looking for? Are they looking for entertainment? Are they looking for education? Or just something that they like to watch? I don't know. What is up? From Brazil. Nice. My dude. Thanks for saying hey. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are in here. We got 27 people in here now. Say hey. Tell me what your name is. My name is Matt. I have a YouTube channel called the OG Frenchy. There we go. We got Melonade, Henry, Joe Turner. We got lots of people saying hey. That's awesome. But yeah, anyway, I got a knife making channel on YouTube and I make knives. I try to post videos about making knives, and I've got a few on there that are pretty cool. Some of the knives are awesome, not all of them, but I'm trying right now to make this knife for a guy from work. He wants this really weird kind of it's kind of a cool design for a knife. It's going to be a full tang chopper sort of deal. So, get in with the chops. You can also, do some cutting and stuff. Let's see, what do we got from Boulder? Maybe Boulder, Colorado. Nice. Eric Parsi says, can you shout me out and I'll subscribe? What is up, Eric? My man. Thanks for saying hey. Shouting out Eric. Appreciate you coming in, saying hey, and subscribing. That is awesome. I was just talking with a couple other people that do YouTube, and we were talking last time about doing live streams and how it is really kind of nice for the creator. Thank you, got a big sub. Nice, man. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. The live stream is cool, though, for people who are trying to make stuff on YouTube. Boulder, Montana. Nice. Boulder, Colorado. I'm sure everybody sees Boulder and says, Boulder, Colorado. Just like Springfield, that's where I live, and there's probably a Springfield in every state, I would imagine. But anyway, yeah, so doing the live stream is nice for the creator because you can just put on the phone or whatever you're shooting on and just let it roll. And then at the end, you end the live stream, and then all of a sudden you've got a video, and you don't have to take the time to edit the video. You don't have to take the time to work on making the video look cool. It is what it is. And I think that's appealing to a lot of people. I really, I like doing the live stream. It's cool. And eventually, if I'm on here long enough, I'll get some of my normal people to come in and say, hey, most of them are other knife makers or people that are into knives. So it's always cool to talk to them and say, hey. But I don't really necessarily do the live stream to try to, like make it big on YouTube or anything like that. I just mainly do it because it's easy to throw on the phone and just work, and then I've got a video at the end. So I much actually prefer to shoot whatever I'm doing. Like if I'm making a knife, I'll take a week to make it, but I'll shoot little clips of all of the steps, and then I'll go back and edit it into one longer video. And I kind of like doing that because then I can put in, what I want in the video. I can take out what I don't want and that sort of thing. And it's nice. I try to do like a mixture of education and entertainment a little bit in making knives. So anyway, yeah, appreciate you guys saying hi. That's cool. I am going to start working on this, and I'll set up the camera just to kind of show what I'm doing. I'm basically taking this to the belt grinder and removing a lot of this extra metal that we don't need, and just kind of profiling the blade out some. and I will periodically stop and say hey to other people that come up in here. I'll get you flipped back around. Eric says, I live in Texas. Nice. Yeah, I got another guy that comes in here every once in a while, and he just moved from Florida to Texas, and I think he made it like a month or two, and he decided to move back to Florida. I can't remember why he told me it wasn't working out in Texas, but I guess he just liked Florida better. And he also has a knife making channel, and he normally will get on here and say hey, and he just might here in a little bit. His name is Jeff, and he has a YouTube channel called Little River Forge. And anyway, I think he's still in Texas, but he's getting ready to move back to Florida. So, with all of that being said, now you guys know what I'm up to. Trying to work on this knife here, so I'm going to go ahead and get the tool rest set up, and we're going to get to grinding. All right. I've got this grinder that I'm using here is a house-made Revolution 2x72, and for those that aren't into knife making, this is made by a company called Housemade. It is an absolutely awesome grinder, and it's one that you can buy all of the bits and pieces and parts, and then you build the grinder. So you save a lot of money by building it yourself. So they pretty much will fabricate all of the little parts ahead of time and ship them to you in a box. And then when they show up at your doorstep, you just either follow the directions that they send, or Brian on his YouTube page has a great video of how to put these together. So you pretty much just watch the video and kind of follow along and build this grinder. But it's really, really nice. It's super versatile, and it is a dream to run it. I really, really like this grinder. It's really cool because, like I was saying, it's very versatile. It's got lots of different attachments and different ways you can set it up and tweak it, to get it how you like. And depending upon what you're doing, grinding metal, there's the contact wheel you can use. That I also have a small wheel attachment. There's a flat platen that I use. So there's lots of different tooling arms, which is what this is. And depending upon what you're doing, you can swap them out pretty quick, and it really, really helps. So now that we got this hooked up, we're going to make sure our belt is in line, and it looks to be for the most part. There we go. We'll go ahead and crank this thing on. All right, now we know we're in line, so that's good. Nothing worse than just hitting start on your belt grinder and not having it in line, and then it chews up the belt on the side of the tool rest. That's always fun. Good thing for me, I like to try to make sure that it doesn't do that. These belts are expensive too. They depends on where you get them, but one belt can cost $15, and that to me is insane. You can find them cheaper than that if you buy them in bulk. You might be able to find them for $5 a pop, but for the most part, if you get something kind of exotic or a name brand one, something like this, this one I think cost me $13 or $14, and this is called a Trizac belt, a 3M Trizac belt. So it's got this weird pattern here, but it does remove metal and it smooths out the metal really nicely. So is it worth the money? Yeah, maybe. But you know, you can find these. The ceramic belts are mostly for metal, and then you know, you got lots of other options as well: zirconia, silicon carbide, or aluminum oxide. There's lots of different ones. So I'm gonna get my mask on, and we're gonna get to grinding. And let me know if you guys have any questions. And I'll try to set you up where you can see what I'm seeing, at least for a little while. And hopefully that way you'll get a decent view of what I be doing. All right. Cosman says, French for real or just cosplaying? That is a great question. Those upgrades from Contender are a nice treat. Yeah. So, the cosplay, the OG Frenchy. Yes, I am an American fella. I live in Missouri, but my last name has French heritage. So my father's side has French heritage, and my mom's side, I believe, has some different European heritage, but my last name is Lattiser, which is about as French as it gets. And so I had a lot of nicknames growing up. Frenchy was one of them, and that be why I am the OG Frenchy. Let's see here. Farina says, what are you cutting? Well, that is a great question. I am cutting into some metal here. This is a billet of Damascus, and I am making and profiling a very strange knife. This knife is for a person at work, and he wanted me to try to make a very particular style of knife. And I said, hey, man, I will totally attempt to do it. And anyway, he took the time to draw out this knife that he wanted, and this is what he gave me. And looking at it, I thought at first, that's kind of crazy looking. But the more I'm working on it, the more I think I like it. It's got a little spot down here that is an integral part of the blade to protect your fingers. It's got a little raised part here where I'm going to be doing some file work. That way it's got some, texture for your thumb. And yeah, it's a pretty decent profile for the most part. The sweetness, that's right. That's exactly what it means. I spent some years in Quebec, some French stuck to me. Nice, heck yeah, let's go. Yeah, the sweetness, I believe you are correct. I did, a family history one time, a report on that, And yeah, I think you just nailed it on the head, the sweetness. And I think for the most part, you know, like I look around at my family members, they're all pretty nice. And maybe it's just coincidence, or it could be just passed down from latticer to latticer. Maybe that's just in their DNA, just to be kind. I try to be kind, and for the most part, I am. Even when people tick me off, I just try to kill them with kindness or kill them with sweetness, no doubt. All right, I'm gonna get ripping on some more of this metal. If you guys got any other questions, hit them up. I'll stop and we'll discuss whatever you guys can come up with. You can see here too that as I am pushing into this, the corner of the belt really helps to chew out material. You can see we just kind of cut into that pretty good. And sometimes it's hard to, you know, cut away a bunch of material if you're coming right up into the belt, so you can utilize the edge of the belt and really hog off some more material. Hey, we got Duck in here. What's going on, Duck? He is a 7-month member of the OG Frenchy. I love it, man. That is so cool. I was just talking to Cosman about my last name, and they were schooling us on what it meant in French, the sweetness. And I said, "You're so kind." Why, thank you. Hey, we also got Shy Rat. What is up? My dude, is there an easy way to make a handle for that blade? That is a great question, and I believe the answer to that is no. I could be wrong, but this is one funky little profile. I was just telling the guys in here earlier, this is a knife that a guy from work wanted me to make, and he is super particular on what he wanted. And I think if I bring him any other variation besides this, he will be like, "Dude, what happened? I thought I gave you a mock-up of the blade." So anyway, he even took the time on another sheet of paper to give me a top-down view of what the handle is supposed to look like. He gave me like thickness dimensions, and he drew in this little relief here. So I definitely got my work cut out for me, no doubt. He's a cool guy, and I'm excited to make this for him, but I can tell he wants this thing to be just so, which is cool. Is it ergonomic for him or just his design? So I don't know if this is his personal design or not. He had told me that he has this knife that he's drawn out, and he's had it drawn out for several years, and he's wanted to attempt to make it, but that he never tried to make it, and he didn't know any people that made knives, and then he just kind of put it away. Well, once him and I got to talking, he was like, "Oh, yeah, you're a knife maker? Sweet, man, let me show you this thing I've been wanting to make." And me being me was like, "Dude, give me a copy of that. Let me try to make it because it's cool." So anyway, FR says hi. Thank you for saying hi. Appreciate that. Yeah, really appreciate all you guys chatting in the chats. That's cool. I like to say hey to you guys. And Shy Rat, are you proud of me? I didn't say Chi Rat this time. right? I told you I wouldn't last time. And hopefully I'm living up to my word. I said, I promise I won't call you Chi Rat because I'm a moron sometimes. Duck says, those will be interesting bevels. Yes, man, won't they ever be? And I was just sitting here looking at this yesterday thinking, that's going to be a fun one to try to do. Like I'm not even there mentally just yet. Hopefully I will be when it comes time, but yeah, to get up in this tight little deal here and then have I'm assuming because it's got kind of a chisel sort of vibe, I'm assuming he would want kind of a straight line coming down on these corners. Maybe I'm wrong, but the way I was picturing it would be something like this, where you've got this really defined hard line in a corner, kind of like the tanto or tanto or whatever you want to say. But anyway, something like that. And if not that, then maybe I just smooth them out. I'm not really sure. Could be one or the other. And I bet you he'll probably have a preference, so I probably ought to ask. Because, yeah, it's definitely a knife that he is excited to see my progress on, no doubt. He has them drawn really steep. Hopefully he will let you grind them a bit thinner so it performs well. Yeah, exactly. I know for certain that is not enough, not enough length here, especially for the thickness that we got. I think I mean, it would be all right maybe, but it would be pretty stinking steep. I really do think that he just drew them to show me, hey, this part has bevels all the way up here, and the tip would also have bevels, I guess. I would assume that's what it was. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, who knows? So anyway, what's up, people? We got a few people in here, right on, 54 people. If you just happen to pop in here, what is going on? Say hey so I can say hey to you. My name is Matt. I'm in here making knives on my YouTube channel. If you would be so kind, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. That would be awesome. The last time I did a live, I had quite a few people subscribe, and when I got towards the end, I was like, man, I got like 30 subscribers from the live stream. That's really, really good for me. Because normally I get like maybe 1 or 2 new subscribers every time I do a video. It's really hard to get people to subscribe for some reason. So anyway, if you're in here and you can hear me, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and you don't have to come back and watch if you don't want, but it would make me just lay down tonight and giggle if I got some more subscribers. Yeah, dude, your Duck Rabbit, your live streams have just been killing it, man. You got so many views and 120 from the last stream. See, that's insane, man. I feel like to get 120 subscribers, I would have to post really good videos for like the next month or two. And man, I was talking to some other people about live streaming versus doing, like long format edited videos, and how it's so much easier just to throw your phone on and hit record and come out here and just film, because then you don't have to spend the time editing, and I don't know, it seems like a no-brainer for some people, and I do like doing it. But I will say I also really do enjoy, not all the time, but I do enjoy making longer videos and spending the time editing them. That part, at least for now, is still fun to me, so I do like to do that. How useful is that log splitter press? Do you find yourself using it? Great question. It is 100% the bomb diggity. and I could not imagine my setup out here without it now. I say that like I've used it for a year. I've only used it a handful of times since I made it, but I can tell you that it is absolutely awesome. And for under 300 bucks is what I have in this log splitter press that I made. And to do Damascus by hand, it's obviously doable, but for me, it just takes a really, really long time. This latest blade that I did, I'll grab it over here real quick. So this latest one that I did, I got the Damascus forged out within a couple of forging sessions. And that wouldn't, there's no way I would have been able to do this by hand in that amount of time. So it really does save a lot of time. Not only that, but it was really easy to get good forge welds on it because the dies that I have are pretty large. The two that I have they have a lot of surface area. So when I start and the billet is yay long and I go to squeeze it, it pretty much gets full contact, and you know, I feel like that helps. Whereas if I was to bring it to the anvil and hammer on it, I'd be hammering in spots, and then, you know, I might miss a spot or something like that. So I feel like it has a great advantage for specifically Damascus for sure. And that's the main reason why I built it, was so that I could continue the adventure in making Damascus. Now, it's not super duper accurate as far as, you know, compared to like a professional press. I don't know if I could pull off all the crazy patterns, and I don't know them all, but there are some that have like, you know, where you start with flat layers and then you squish in the corners, and then you turn it around and squish in other corners, and you make different patterns. I don't know. I mean, I'll have to see. I'll have to play around with what kind of patterns I can get out of it. But, you know, that's part of the journey. And I don't know a whole lot about pattern making for Damascus. I really don't. This first one was just like, hey, I'm going to just put out as many layers as I can stretch this thing long and let it be kind of a random pattern sort of deal. And for being a random pattern, it's pretty uniform for the most part. The bevels kind of have these straighter, wavy lines. And then up towards the flat part and the fullers, you see more of the circles. And that's kind of the way it is on both sides for the most part. This is 75 layers, I think. Pretty sure. I can't remember now, but it's not a ton. 15, no, it's 60 layers, not 75. I'm pretty sure it's 60 or 75. Anyway, it's not a ton, but it's, you know, it's definitely cool. And to be able to say that I made this, it makes me really happy. So I'm going to definitely be making more in the future. There's no doubt about that. I can't wait to continue to try to come up with different patterns and try different techniques. And yeah, the sky's the limit for this thing. I have it wrapped up out here, and I got it protected under the old canopy. I've got these little curtains to help keep the rain out. But it's really nice because then I don't have to haul all this crap back inside. You can see my working area in here. It's like not very big at all. And it's already crammed full with, you know, all kinds of crap. So there's not a whole lot of space to put stuff as it is. Keep in mind, I have over half, again, as many subscribers as you, and almost all of them are used to me streaming, which I've been doing for going on a year now. Yeah, that's true. I think consistency, you know, you always hear people talk about that. Consistency is key, and that is something that I am not good at. A lot of great YouTubers put out you know, one video a day, or one video every Thursday, or once, twice a week. And that way people know, oh, heck yeah, it's Friday, let's go. Here comes another video. I just don't do that, and I should, because I feel like that would help. It looks good. Thank you, appreciate that. What I was asking about the handle is that I have a blade with a broken handle. Is there a kit out there where I can make one for it, or does everything has to be custom? That's a good question. I guess depends on what kind of knife it is. If it's a really popular kind of knife, then you may be able to find handles that are already shaped to it. But I would say for the most part, it's probably a safe bet that you're gonna have to probably do some sort of a custom handle to it. So you pretty much just pick whatever kind of material you want, and yeah, just use whatever you want, but you'll probably have to end up shaping it around the knife for the most part. I am consistently inconsistent. What's up, Chevy guy? Yeah, me too, man. Very consistently inconsistent, no doubt. Yeah, so anywho, it definitely helps being out here having the stuff. I can pop this thing off real quick and give you guys a quick shot of this. This build was a ton of fun. I really did have a lot of fun making this thing. Let me put you up on the stand real quick. And it was surprisingly easy to make this. It really was. I bought the log splitter on Amazon, and that was the only thing I had to put money into, was the actual log splitter. And outside of the log splitter, I'm pretty much just, I just used angle iron from the old scrap dumpster from work. All this stuff was free. This big piece of metal, all the angle iron, even the plates here, I actually bought some of those from work. But the pedestal down at the bottom down here is all just square tube that was free. So, I mean, it's doable. You know, when I was researching this, I was thinking about building a actual press, like getting the, you know, the hydraulic cylinder and the motor and the split valve and all the components separate, and then trying to fabricate everything around it. And even then, I was still looking at upwards of like $1,000 to put together what I wanted. And I just was like, you know what, I just don't have that money right now. So I decided, hey, you know what, I'm going to just make it cheap, and if it works good, then heck yeah, win. And if it doesn't work good, I'll at least have something that will somewhat smush steel. And it's actually done, it does a lot better than I expected it to do. Here are the flattening dies, so they're about the size of my fist, and that gives a lot of surface area. These plates are just quick change, so you can pull them in and out and pretty easily swap them out. You can see I just kind of put little lips here to catch the plates and one in the back, and that way you can swap them out pretty easily, because I have found that you do want to swap them out, and pretty regularly. Like, I'll draw them out and then I'll want to squish them flat, and then once it's flat again, these no longer really do much, so you go back to the drawing dies sort of thing. So I've got those flattening ones. I've got these, which are the drawing dies, and these were actually given to me for free from another YouTuber, and he sent me 2 of these, and I think he also sent me, yeah, he did send me these as well. His name is Ted with TBW Blades on YouTube, and him and I have been like hanging out and talking, and he'll send me some stuff, and then I'll send him some knife making stuff, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, pretty much have nothing in this as far as money goes, minus buying the actual log splitter. But it does do really well. And it's fairly easy to operate for the most part. I've got the little kick plate down here, so I can just hit it with my foot and it'll go up and down this way. So it's pretty easy, and I can use both of my hands to get in here and, you know, hold the metal in. Another cool part about this too is that in line with the actual cylinder, and I feel like I get better force or better tonnage that way. You see lots of different log splitter builds, and some of them are okay and others don't look like they work very well. And you know, I would say this one's a pretty decent one for the most part. Speaking of free stuff, I got a nice big piece of 4140 round bar off my buddy Ian, so I have lots of hammer and drift stock. Nice. Heck yeah. You should measure the tonnage. Yeah, that would be cool. This is a 6, is it a 6.5? I think it is. Yeah, 6.5 ton electric log splitter that runs off of normal power, some 110. And I don't know how much tonnage it actually does. How would I go about measuring that? I have no idea. Maybe you know. Let me know if you do know, because I would absolutely measure it. That would be cool. Yes, you guys did derail my grinding job, no doubt about it. That's funny. I said that last time too. I was like, man, I came out here to profile and I get to talking and I quit working, and maybe that's why it takes me 2 weeks to make a blade. Probably so. I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, a pressure sensor you can get or borrow. Dude, that's cool. I will look into that because I'm curious to know. I feel like, you know, if it says it's 6.5 tons, does it really mean it might be 6 or 5? And if I built it in line, I'm sure I'm getting most of the tonnage that it has. But yeah, that'd be good to know. I do feel like it obviously is not the most powerful thing ever. I mean, I'm not fearful of over squishing, if that makes sense. But I will say, though, that the drawing dies, on the other hand, those actually do squish to the point to where when I was doing the saber, I thought, oh crap, if I put my foot, you know, hold it too much, it could over squish it. And because of that, I was like, you know what, I got to do something. And I made these quick little deals. I think I got one right here. Yeah. So just something like this to go over top of it. And then that way it would at least give me this thickness, you know, to make sure that it didn't squish past that. And those actually work pretty good. Yeah, maybe they do. I'll have to ask. I'm not sure how affordable they are. I'd try to borrow one from a machine shop or one of those types of places. Yeah, most definitely. We don't really have a hydraulic place that we use because we don't do a whole lot of hydraulic stuff. Ooh, it got dark in here. That's the power of the lights. They're automatic, so if I'm not in here, they'll just go off. Hold on 1 second. You want to come in and say hey? Okay. Well then, I got some people in here. Oh, he's going to be the cameraman. So my son just showed up. Let's come out here so maybe we won't lose the signal. So last time I did a live stream, I had my cameraman come and help me. Here's my cameraman. He's a little shy in the beginning, but he warms up for the most part. What's up, dude? Hi. Hi. Hi, he says. Yeah, so last time we did a live stream, he was helping me, and he actually helped me forge a little bit, didn't you? You were using the hammer, and we were banging on the anvil over there. See, I'll have him forging out a blade here in no time. Are you done playing with your friend? Yeah? Okay. Are you going to hold the camera?
Yeah, but I can't see.
You can't see? Here, let's lower it down some for you. Actually, let's move it back inside because I got to work a little bit. Maybe you could just stand here and hold it for me. Let me do that.
Okay.
All right. Good job. Can you see me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is what we're working on, and I haven't done any work yet. I've been just talking, as I normally do. It's like, yep, Dad, you like to talk. You'll just keep talking and talking. So,
I'm not that good holding.
Huh?
I'm wiggling it a little bit.
You're wiggling the camera a little bit? Here, let's put it in the stand, and then that way it won't wiggle, and you can just kind of watch it. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
That way we don't get people too dizzy. There we go. All right.
Why can I not see?
Well, because they got to be able to see, and you're short.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. See you, buddy. There he goes. He's like, I'm out of here. He likes to help every once in a while, and that would be another reason why I probably don't get the blades done as quickly as I should. But that's okay. He's always welcome in here, and we have a good time together. That's a lot of soy sauce. Yeah, you know it, buddy. It's a whole 5 gallons of soy sauce. I thought this was a cool bucket, and I saw it at work, and somebody was toting fence parts in it, and then they went and threw it in the dumpster. I'm like, heck no, man, that's a good bucket, and it's a cool bucket of soy sauce. That is too cool to let it go in the trash. So, anywho, I suppose I'll turn the dadgum grinder on and actually do some grinding. If you're still in here watching, thank you for hanging out. Hit the subscribe button, help me out, leave a like, and do all that stuff. I would really appreciate it. All right, so now that we're back at it, we are going to actually start removing some metal. Let's do it. That would be a great pickling bucket for your muriatic. Yes, it would be. And I have several more, too. Yeah, the vinegar, no doubt. I actually did stick this in some vinegar, and it's still, I didn't leave it in there super long, but you can tell it did take a lot of the forge scale off. There's still some stubborn parts on there, but the vinegar is just not as strong as the muriatic acid. But I like it. It's easy to get. It's not super toxic, and with the kids running around and stuff. I actually do have some. It's in the garage. I just have yet to pull it out and try it. All right. like to periodically stop and put it in my hand and look. And yeah, so far so good. Kind of like where it's going. Definitely have more to remove if we're going to get it to the exact shape of the paper. But I don't know, maybe we'll keep it a little bit bigger. We'll just kind of see how it goes. I'm also looking on where I'm grinding to make sure that we're getting past any of the welding wire. We had quite a bit up here. You can still see we got some to keep going here because we have this little bit of a crack here. And that is just where the two layers, I want to say, or the edges butted up, and then I went crazy with the welding. And it should be good. We'll just have to keep grinding past that some. But that's kind of what we're doing, is keeping an eye out for that and making sure we grind past that stuff. And where are we at? We got, see, this is crazy. 55 minutes in and I have barely done anything. I told my wife 1 hour. That's all I had. So I've got 5 minutes left. Yeah, and we didn't make a whole lot of progress, but you know what? That's okay. We got to say hey to some people, and at least there's that. We at least got to hang out for a bit and say hey. So, for the last 5 minutes, if you're in here, say hey, and yeah, tell me what do you think? What is your thing? What do you like to do? For the 27 people in here, are you guys into knife making? Or are you just here to be entertained? Or what is it? What do you like? Me, myself, I have always been a maker. Always liked to be making something. For a long time, I made music. That was my thing. When I was 13, I got a guitar and really liked to play the guitar. And, yeah, you know, just like to play lots of instruments. I got a guitar, I got a keyboard, I've got a bass, I've got an electronic drum set, and I still mess around with it a little bit here and there. But that used to be my thing, was making music. I'm not gonna lie, I've been on Facebook Marketplace the whole time. I don't know how people watch my grinding streams. I'm about bored to tears. Yeah, no kidding. That's the thing. It's like you can put it on. That's where the videos come in handy, because you can edit it or time lapse the grinding stuff. But yeah, it is a little boring just watching grinding. But maybe to some people it isn't, that don't grind. Maybe they're mesmerized by the sparks. Who knows? But if you're like Duck and I and you do it a lot, then yes, it's probably pretty boring watching another fella do the same thing that you do. Cosman says, I am a weekend woodworker machinist who just bought an anvil and a grizz. Let's go, man. Heck yeah, that is awesome. And hey, there's my brother in here. Cosman, it's another sweetness. This guy, I'm telling you what. He says, woo woo. My grinding streams always do way better than my forging streams. Dude, really? That's insane to me. I would have never guessed that. I would always figure people would like to watch forging more so than grinding. That is insane. I wonder why. That is crazy. What's up, little brother? What are you doing? Are you working today, or are you chilling like a villain? Hey, what's going on? Eric is in here. My dude. That is really cool. Eric is the man. Duck is the man, and Cosman is the man as well, because he knew my last name meant the sweetness. That is awesome. Dude, Eric, if you're still in here, I think your build was super sick, man. No doubt. That thing, I swear, dude, your profiles are just epic. I don't know what it is, man. It is incredibly mesmerizing to watch you come up with a profile. You know, when I first started knife making, I fell in love with your content because it was exactly what I needed as a newer knife maker. I wanted somebody who was going to show me how to make a knife and not just speed through it and miss all of the good information. That's why I still am a ride or die TRE dude, because you explain things really well. And you absolutely are the Disney, the Walt Disney of knife makers, because your imagination is bananas. Just a wicked cool build that you did. I'm super impressed. And it's cool that you're in here, man. That is awesome. We're working on a strange profile. What do you think of this weird honker right here? It's kind of a weird one. I was telling the other people, this is a blade that somebody from work gave me, and he had this thing all drawn out, and I was like, oh no, man, this is the knife. I need it. And I said, oh, okay, cool, man. I'm not the best knife maker, but I can try. And I kind of dig it too. You know, at first it was like, oh, this is kind of funky, but the more I'm messing with it, the more I think it's really interesting. It's got kind of a, you know, like a chisel sort of Tonto-esque tip, but then it's got this area here where he wants the bevels, and then he's got the integral kind of a finger guard there. And he went into pretty good detail about telling me about the handle, and he drew these little reliefs, and then we've got file work up here. So I've got my work cut out for me, no doubt. It's going to be a pretty fun build. It'll definitely be interesting for me to try to grind these bevels in. I honestly don't even know where to start. I guess I'll when I get there, I'll figure it out. But I don't have the brain power at the moment to comprehend how to do that. But I'm sure I'll figure it out. Anyway, I think it's a really cool design, and I'm excited to do it. This is the guy at work who gave me a bunch of wood for free. He's also a woodworker, and he gave me some spalted ash, which I turned into a blade. I don't know if I have it in here anymore, but it's pretty cool. I did some stabilizing and dyeing to the handle, and that one turned out good. He also gave me some walnut. Oh, here it is right here. So this is one I dipped in cactus juice and dye. It's kind of got like purple and green to it. And yeah, it turned out pretty cool. This is spalted ash, just in a little file knife package. So that one's kind of cool. He also gave me walnut pear, I believe, was another one he gave me. And a couple of other ones that turned out to look really cool. They got an interesting grain. But anyway, he gave me those, and he didn't ask for any money or anything, and was just like, hey, here's some wood, make some knives. I was like, heck yeah, dude. So whenever he showed me this, I'm like, oh, dude, I have got to try to make it. So that's what we're doing for the most part. Yeah, absolutely. It is nice to get some random woods. You did a build, oh man, it's been a long time ago, but you used this material. This is black palm, and I very specifically remember you putting this in as a front part to a segmented scale, and you could see the little polka dots. And I was just like, dude, this dude is insane. I just love that, man. So I went out and bought some black palm after I watched you make that knife like a year ago, and I haven't done anything with it yet. But maybe one day I will. But yeah, that's what I love, man. You know, you watch other people, and it gives you inspiration to come up with the next thing. You know, I'm always trying to turn, you know, my imagination into something cool, but I love having the help of watching other people do stuff. Gives you really cool ideas. Yeah. So, my brother says, speaking of the old ball and chain, Hunty says hi. She loves you and misses you guys. Nice. Tell Hunty I said I love her, and I miss her. It's been a long time since we've got to hang out, I feel like. We definitely need to. And I think my other brother and his girlfriend are going to the Goo Goo Dolls concert. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Goo Goo Dolls. I'm 40, so be nice. Some of the people are like, well, who are the Goo Goo Dolls? Anyway, are you guys going to that? I know we had talked about that. That'd be kind of cool. Something to do. Oh, there he is. What's up? Other brother and girls say, hey, love y'all. Hey, I think I think Sarah said she saw Kirsten and Caden at the doctor's appointment. That's hilarious. Lake weekend. All right, right on. The Goo Goos. Let's go. Anyway, so yeah, me and my brothers are we're tight, and it's nice to have two other brothers fairly close in age, and we all live within at least a 2 to 3 hour radius. Actually, one of my brothers lives really close in the same town. That would be Nicholas, and Jack lives in Columbia. All the lads are here. Yeah, this is probably the first time all the lads have gotten together in a live stream. I like it. Uh, the power of lattice here. We had another person in here earlier. We had another person in here earlier. I don't know if he or she is still in here. Cosmin. I'm going to guess it's a dude, but forgive me if you're a chick. Anyway, Cosmin was like, hey, I did some French and spent some time in Quebec and asked why I was the OG Frenchy. So I was explaining why the French man is OG Frenchy. Still here. Yes, a dude. Let's go. Yeah, so he says, oh, Latticer, huh? The sweetness. I said, hey, let's go. Someone else knows the meaning of the last name. That's impressive. And to be quite honest, there's not a whole lot of Latticers around here. There's a bunch in New York, upstate New York. We got cousins up there. I think there's quite a bit in Canada, those darn French Canadians. But yeah, outside of that, you just don't see a whole lot of Latticers walking around. And we've got 3 of them in here, so that's cool. So anyway, now we are at 66 minutes. Dadgummit, I am 6 minutes late. I told Sarah that I would keep it at an hour because we're supposed to start dinner at 6:30, and here it is, 6:28. So I most likely am going to go so I don't get in trouble. And yeah, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Definitely don't want to be in trouble. So, thank you very much for hanging out. I really thoroughly appreciate the conversation. And yeah, it's great to talk to all of you. I'm glad both my brothers got in here at the end to say hey. It's super cool that my knife making idol came in here. That is awesome to say hey. And if you guys are in here and you're into making knives and you want to see what an actual good knife maker looks like and you don't know him, go check out the Rivers Experience. He probably doesn't know it, but he is the person who taught me how to make knives through the internet. And that's always really cool. But he makes some absolutely killer blades. And to be quite honest, so does Duck Rabbit. Duck Rabbit makes some awesome stuff. He just got done making a Gladius from a big-ass wrench. And it turned out wicked cool. I caught your last live stream. I believe it was titled 58, maybe. But anyway, it was when you were wrapping up the Gladius, and just super cool and creative. You had the nut in the end welded in there. I absolutely love that. The bevels actually looked wicked good. Kudos to that, man, because grinding those kinds of bevels can be difficult, and you nailed it, man. So anyway, if you guys are into making knives, you're still in here, and you want more knife making content that's consistent, go check out those 2 dudes, because they deserve a view and a subscribe and a thumbs up, no doubt. So anyway, appreciate you guys very much. Jack says, good old lettuce hairs. You best, you better get in that kitchen, boy. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, boy, better get in that kitchen. All right. Appreciate you guys very much. And I'm going to try to do some more lives, I think. Duck Rabbit is showing me the way. He says, bro, just put it on, hit record, and go. And yeah, it seems to be working so far. It's definitely easier than editing a long format video, and I could most likely be more consistent, at least with lives, because I always have at least an hour to spare, you know, one day a week. So anyway, really appreciate it. I'll quit rambling. Thanks a bunch, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.